Welcome back to the channel. This is S.O.L. I'm Alex. I'm a guy who's pissed off about how we can't agree on anything. Now that we're through that, we can get into what we need to talk about today and the fact that the government's about to shut down, and I'm sure a lot of people are freaking out about it. Not really. They probably haven't been paying attention because, our whole political spectrum is just a psyop to keep us distracted from what they're doing in reality. But I digress. We're going to get straight to the point because it tries my patience. Anytime any YouTubers try to do a watch time grab by putting the information you actually want to know at the end of the video, this is important. This affects people. It affects real life. How extreme that it affects your real life is based on your circumstance. So here's what we are up against. So they proposed a bill to give us funding through 2025. They filed a continuous resolution kicking the can down the road, pretty much like we have been for the last, 60 years. Now, here recently, about an hour ago, the Republicans came back with a counter budget that cuts out a lot of the fluff that they included that they're trying to jam into this congressional session. Both sides are guilty of it. I'm not blaming one side or the other. Everyone messed up here by allowing this to get to this point. But what we're looking at is if there's not a bill signed and agreed upon by Saturday, December 21st, I think. I don't know. Days are hard nowadays. What are we doing? The government's going to shut down. Now that sounds really scary, but let's figure this out. First off, essential services are not going anywhere. How it works is law enforcement. Pretty much any law enforcement you will ever interact with are state, local, municipal, county governments. They are not funded by the federal government. They receive federal grants for equipment and some pay, but that money has already been allocated to them, though that equipment has already been purchased for the most part with said money. So on a day-to-day operation, yes, you can still not call 911 if something is happening, and they will still be understaffed and try to gauge if they really need to respond to your call. Same thing for ambulance services, same thing for hospitals. All of those things are still going to be working. You do not need to worry about that. Now, if you're a federal employee, yeah, you should be worried because you are going to get furloughed. The messed up part too is if you do get furloughed, but you are considered an essential service, you are still going to have to work without pay. Trying to get people to do their job without getting paid is, we can't even get McDonald's workers to get our orders right, and they're making minimum wage. Now you want someone controlling air traffic to do their job well without getting compensated? Not great. But that does dive into another area, in the fact that all of us are probably going to be traveling for the holidays, going to see family. TSA, air traffic control are still going to work. They are not going to be getting paid, but they are still going to work. So you can take that with that what you will. Expect delays. I don't think you will have very many motivated workers when they know they are not getting a paycheck. Can't blame them, personally. I digress. The next one that everyone always wants to ask questions about is the Postal Service. The Postal Service is not affected by this. It is not an annual appropriation bill or funded entity. It is a separate entity from that. So yes, little Johnny, your nephew Johnny, he's still going to get his presents on time. Hopefully, they'll probably mess it up anyways. However, if his parents do work for the federal government, he's probably not going to eat. So that's that. So those are the big questions. How much is it going to affect your daily life? Really not that much, in a sense. Unless you work for the federal government, then massively, and my heart goes out to those people. Should you care about this? Yeah, you still should care about it because we've been kicking this can down the road and no one's paying attention to it. And here we are now, as one side's trying to be popular, it almost seems like, by calling out the fact that they're trying to shove a whole bunch of BS into this bill when they should have just funded the government, when they also do the exact same thing constantly. Then, come on, guys. Like, we got to start paying attention. Okay. That pretty much covers everything. That's what I think people really need to be concerned about. Again, emergency services, you still have them. You are not going to call for an ambulance if you are dying, and they're going to say, no, sorry, they didn't fund the government. Same thing for law enforcement. Again, we do still have the staffing issues, but that's a completely separate issue. Now, the only thing that I ask of you is I'm trying to do this right. I'm trying to answer your questions as quickly as possible and as concisely as possible without trying to just rot your mind. I need help doing that. I want to be able to do this full time. Comment, like, subscribe, reward my good behavior. I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm just trying to give you the information that you need to know so that you are able to support your life and your family and your loved ones. Thank you. Have a great night. Happy holidays.